Why do people who don't deserve it always get the stuff that they want, and the people who do deserve it don't get it? That's a question that's been on my mind for a hot minute, and I feel like I've finally figured it out, and I'm willing to share it. So, what do I mean by this? Let's say, for example, all these people who do fraud, all these people who scam, those people, they don't deserve the money that's brought to them, because it's unethical. They commit a crime, and it's not just like a stupid little crime. It affects other people's lives. It has the potential to ruin somebody else's life permanently, and often the people who are affected by it are innocent people. And I was thinking to myself, why is it so much harder to make money ethically, to make money the right way, to be wealthy and well off, not have to slave away just to make a living, and not be a bad person? And that's been on my mind for a long time, because the universe and God and that, like, all of that, why would it want to favor people who are terrible? And not just that, that's the first example. I'm going to go into a second example, which is people who don't deserve it. Because terrible people and people who don't deserve it, they often both get what they want. And it's been on my mind for a while, like, why does this happen? And first off, with terrible people, I've noticed that always they end up worse than they began, because the universe wants to teach them that that's not how you do it. And often all these scammers and all these people who do fraud, often they get caught. And often when they do get caught, they go to jail, right? And once you go to jail, you can't really restart your life. You can't get a 9-to-5 job. You have to, your life's pretty much over. And more often than not, those people do get caught, especially the more greedy they get. The more greedy they get, the bigger the chance that they get caught. Obviously, people who do it for small sums of money don't get caught, but then the effort is usually the same as getting a normal job, so it's kind of pointless. But even if they don't get caught, those people will usually face some sort of repercussion, you know what I mean? Like, their bank account will get locked, that kind of stuff. And that's not as important. But the next thing that was sort of on my mind, and I've been thinking about for a while, is why do people who don't deserve it always get the stuff that they want? And what do I mean by this? Often you'll see people, billionaires, who have sons or daughters who are ungrateful, who just don't value many things in life, you know what I mean? And I don't know any specific examples, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's not just billionaires, it's millionaires too. It's literally, you probably have a few examples from your life that you can think about. Basically just spoiled brats. Why do they get those things? And more often than not, kids who get spoiled by their parents are not worse people, but their actions are more immoral, and their values are usually worse than they should be. And whether that's because of the person or whether it's because of the parenting, I'm thinking it's the parenting, because, you know, if you're just giving your son or daughter millions of dollars to spend, that's not really going to benefit them. But usually those people who do get blessed, you know, you're born to a billionaire. Like, how amazing is that? But that's not a blessing exactly. It's just another form of a test for the universe. The universe will either test people by giving them prosperity or by not giving them prosperity. And when you are given prosperity, the universe tests you by seeing if you can hold on to that prosperity, and if you actually deserve it, you know what I mean? The universe will try to test it by taking that away from you and seeing if you can rebuild yourself. Whereas with people who didn't grow up in that prosperity, the universe tests them by seeing if they're able to build it. So the universe will always either try to build you or break you down, and it'll test you that way. So don't be thinking that just because somebody is more rich than you, or because they were born into a wealthy family, they are more lucky than you, because the universe doesn't not test anybody. The universe is always testing you. And those people who are well off, they often are tested, because sure, you could be from a wealthy family and you could be getting spoiled, but if you're able to mitigate that and still work on yourself, still be able to improve yourself, then you deserve that. You deserve that money, you deserve that wealth, because you're able to hold on to it. Whereas a lot of these people who grew up in these rich households, they're spoiled, they don't understand the importance of it, and they end up blowing through all of it, and then they go to their lowest, they're broke, they end up like most people, and then they have to rebuild it. And a lot of those people won't rebuild it because of their values that they were taught and learned as a child, and they're just unable to, because they think that everything is going to be handed to them. And that's how the universe like picks out souls. It tests, because different people react differently to different situations, and you need to understand that your poverty or your brokenness is not a testament of how much the universe loves you or how much the universe blesses you. It's a testament of the test that the universe is giving you. Your test, if you're not rich, your test is to see if you can build that, if you can build that empire, if you can build that richness, if you can build that wealth. Whereas the people who are rich, they're not just blessed by the universe. Nobody just gets blessed by the universe. They're also being tested. So don't try to compare yourself and start playing the victim. Oh, they were born into wealth. The universe loves them so much more than it loves me. No, because you are being tested in a different way than them. And even if you do get to that wealth, like some of those people, the universe will still be testing you, and it'll still try to do the same thing, just in a different sort of cycle. And by that point, if you're not born into wealth, you'll be able to hold on to it better and appreciate it more, and the chances of you losing it are going to be lower because you actually built something. Whereas those people who are being tested by being given the wealth, they often, once they lose that, it's trickier for them to rebuild it. But if they are capable of rebuilding it, then that's one of the strongest souls you can have. If you've been handed everything, and then you're still able to awaken and understand that life isn't like that, you're not supposed to be handed everything, and you're able to change that for yourself, that's one of the biggest strengths you can have, is by changing. One of the biggest strengths you can possibly have is being able to change something, even regardless of the circumstances that you have. Even if you've been taught one thing, being able to change it to something better is one of the best strengths you can have. If you grew up in an abusive household, being able to change that and being able to learn from it and change how you are and not repeat that cycle is one of the biggest strengths you can have. And that's my topic for my next video. It's being able to reform your weaknesses into your strengths. And I've been able to do that with almost everything, which helped me grow spiritually, which helped me grow financially, which helped me in so many ways, by reforming my weaknesses into my strengths. And that's what the next video is going to be about.